Today we're going to learn how to apply Pythagorean theorem to determine the unknown side lengths in right triangles. Sounds like quite a bit right now, right? You'll find it's going to be very simple. My name is Christine Carreño, and I'm 42 years old. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher and a coach. I think the best thing about being able to teach and coach the students that I have on a daily is having a relationship with all of my students and just having them know that they have someone that's here for them throughout every aspect of life.
You can't be talking. Get more playing time, then come talk to me. But you say that you're better than them. Get more playing time, then come talk to me.
Sure is.
I could take your spot if I wanted to.
Yeah, the only reason
where are you supposed to be? So not only am I their teacher or their coach, but I feel like for many of my students, I'm a shoulder or an ear when they need it. And we've had a few situations this year where I've been that shoulder, where we've had to call parents for different situations. But it was nice that they felt comfortable enough to address their concerns with me, and they felt strongly enough that I would be supportive, that they asked me to be with them when they contacted their parents about some of the situations that were occurring. When we were teaching through distance learning, I couldn't tell if my students understood what they were doing. I couldn't tell what kind of progress they were making because I couldn't hear them thinking out loud, and I couldn't see what they were writing on their paper, if they were writing at all. And so when we came back from distance learning, that was one of my main goals, was to ensure that I was acknowledging how my students were feeling and how they were understanding concepts and how they were interacting with their peers because they didn't get it during distance learning. One of the main obstacles that I faced teaching through distance learning during the pandemic was attendance and just student presence. I say it all the time, I felt like I was Dora talking to a screen and just waiting for a response from anybody. It was just really draining, just being behind a screen all day and not having physical interaction. I think that was the hardest part. And at the same time, worrying about my spouse who was physically outside working as an essential worker. And then finding the strength to continue going to school, even though I knew my kids were at home and really could have benefited from having more time with mom. I feel like that was one of the biggest struggles. For people who struggle with mental health, whether they're students or adults, would really be to just be okay with asking for help and be okay with struggling with mental health. I feel like in some form or fashion, we all struggle from mental health at some point in our life, whether it was during the pandemic, whether it's post-traumatic incidents, or whether it's just in day-to-day lives. We all struggle with mental health. It's okay to reach out to people. It's okay to find a rock, a person to be your rock or a person to be your shoulder. And even if you do struggle with mental health, it's okay to be somebody's shoulder for them. So being there for someone and finding someone who can be there for you is huge.